sexy ass motherfuckers. Welcome back to yet another Rome 2 Total War Siege battle. This battle was played yesterday as of the recording date of this video. It was insane. It was an in-house battle with friends and it was epic. Oh my goodness, the amount of plays, the amount of screaming, the amount of fun that was had during this battle was incredible. Guys, if you like this video at all, make sure to hit that like button. Helps me out tremendously. Helps me to reach more of you sexy ass motherfuckers. If you guys are feeling extra generous, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously. We're trying to reach that 400 subscriber count. Also, if you guys have any epic battles, and I mean truly epic battles, then make sure to send them to the battle replay section of my Discord. The link will be down in the description below. But guys, sit back, relax, grab yourself something to eat, something to drink, go jerk off a quick one, call your grandmother and tell her that you love her, preferably not while you're jerking off a quick one, because I don't think she would appreciate that too much. Do whatever you guys got to do, and let's get right into this epic video. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and start off with the army composition. So over here we have Rome, bringing in Hastati, legionaries, auxiliary infantry, Praetorian Guard, velites, and auxiliary Syrian archers, as well as some gladiatrices, which is really cool to see because you don't see them very often. But women gladiators, badass gladiators, here to kick ass, take names, and that's about it. And hopefully win their freedom. Kicking ass, and all of them are being led by the general's bodyguard, the legends themselves, ready to lead these men and women valiantly into battle. Looking over at the other attackers here, we've got the Seleucid player, bringing in Therospheres, thorax swordsman. We've got some medium cavalry over here as well. A Greek giant ballista, more thorax swordsmen, of course. You have to have thorax swordsmen as Seleucid, some eastern spears, and some Syrian heavy archers, as well as silver shield swordsmen. Over here, we've got Nabatea, bringing in Nabatean swordsmen. Look at these guys. They look epic. Love that armor, too. Reminds me of Pontus, but with that slight red shade to it, it looks bad-ass. Even if they bleed, their enemies won't know. It'll seem as though they just simply cannot bleed. And, of course, we've got the armored desert hoplites. You can't have a Nabatean army without armored desert hoplites. And lots more Nabatean swordsmen, as well as some gorgeous archer forces, Nabatean heavy archers over here. Over on this side, last but certainly not least, we've got Syracuse bringing in a Greek giant ballista, getting burnt down by some artillery, by my artillery. Yes, guys, I am playing in this battle. I'm playing as the Armenia player, and I'm trying to do whatever I can to be able to burn down this artillery as soon as possible. But Syracuse bringing in plenty of thorax swordsmen, mercenary Samnite warriors. We've got there we are, thorax hoplites and a thorax hoplite general, as well as some of those cheap 250 archers and some Thureos spears. Nabatea also favoring a couple of units of Nabatean noble cav and a general unit of Nabatean noble cav. And the reason he's bringing so much cavalry is because on the defending side, we've got Royal Scythia, with some epic step armored lancers, a very powerful faction indeed, already beginning to sally out against the might of Rome. We've got Scythian Amazonian riders, step armored lancers already trying to harass some of the Roman infantry, and plenty of cavalry inside of the walls ready to move out in a moment's notice. And I think they also have a skirmisher cav somewhere around here as well. Yeah, Scythian royal horse. I think they have a skirmisher cav somewhere. Which is really cool to see because you don't see him brought too often. Next off on the defender side, we've got the great and powerful Pergamon, one of my favorite factions, a very fun one, of course, bringing plenty of Agama spears, some Pergamonese noble cavalry, and we've also got the great Galatian swords and 4 units of the 250 archers. Next off, we've got my favorite faction in this entire game, the absolutely gorgeous Pontus. We got Pontus bringing in plenty of Pontic swordsmen. We've got Celtic warriors, Eastern archers, and I think he also brought a little bit of a surprise as well. There it is, and also a beautiful scythed chariot unit. Look at these guys, ready to go in and absolutely decimate some forces. Last but certainly not least, we've got my sexy ass bringing Armenia, bringing in Hillmen, Eastern archers, and Cardii axemen, as well as a general unit of cataphracts and an extra unit of Eastern cataphracts. So we've got some royals and Eastern cataphracts ready to charge out at a moment's notice and kick some ass. Let's go ahead and go into normal speed and kind of look at what's going on over here. We've got Rome continuing to be harassed by some steppe armored lancers charging into the Roman infantry, into the Roman lines, getting some good kills against the legionnaires, but the legionnaires quickly moving in to be able to stop this madness and keep this cav from being able to do too much damage against them. We've got some units of Hastati and Socii Extraordinarii moving up to be able to try and take down these walls and move into the settlement as soon as possible, because they don't want to have to deal with this epic cavalry outside of the settlement in the zone that they are meant for, because as soon as you get in the city walls, it's going to be harder to maneuver. You won't be able to zigzag and juke arrows and juke other units and just all kinds of different madness that comes with playing as a cav faction. So if they can get inside of the city walls, they will be looking pretty. We've got this elusive player over here also doing whatever they can to move up some towers, try to get some fire inside of the settlement with their towers. I do actually have my Eastern Spearmen over here taking a lot of tower fire, have them positioned. I had already wasted all of the arrow tower ammo from the mercenary Samnite warriors being pushed up over here with the Eastern Spearmen. Now I'm just trying to force the Nabatean towers to waste their ammo on my cheap unit as well. That is what they are meant for. They are 180 gold, and they do not do shit as far as melee or as far as getting into the fray against other units. So they are just trying to do whatever they can and act as a meat shield and waste as much of our opponent's ammo as possible. Oh, here we go, guys. Here it is. We've got more cavalry. I'm going to go ahead and bring out my general and some Eastern cataphracts. We've got some steppe armored lancers from Royal Cynthia also moving out. My cataphracts are going to go ahead and try and charge into the Stati, but that charge was absolute garbage. I went ahead and utilized trample, but because I still had cavalry trying to get outside of the city walls, that charge did not do shite for me, and I am going to pay the price for it. He's going to be able to get those jabbies off onto my back, take out 5 different cataphract units, but I'm going to turn around while trample is still activated, hopefully get into here while trample is still activated. Yes, there we go, and completely knock down this entire unit of Hastati. And because this Hastati is completely knocked down, I'm going to go ahead and use my Eastern cataphracts to move on to the next unit of Hastati and try and get as many kills as I can and just basically play ping pong with these units, keep on moving back and forth side to side into as many different units as I possibly can. Now I've got my general unit moving in the Royal Cataphracts. We've even got this Hastati unit starting to break against the might of the Eastern Cataphracts. Hopefully I'll pop up. There we go. There's second wind, because my Cataphracts were so tired after utilizing that trample ability. So I'm going to get my general in here, charge into the side of these legionaries, trying to get this cavalry out of here, just charging, getting as many kills against these guys as I can, but getting the hell out of dodge. We've caused our damage, and now we're looking for another opening, and I see an opening at that. There's some archers that are out in the open. We've got vigilates quickly moving in to be able to try and stop my charge. We've got a unit of auxiliary Syrian infantry and another unit of auxiliary Syrian infantry, not vigilates, I apologize, moving in to be able to block my Eastern cataphracts, but moving into the archers. So I'm going to go ahead and fall back my Eastern cataphracts for now and wait for a better opportunity to be able to move in. Now I'm going to go ahead and actually turn around the Eastern cataphracts, go ahead and pop battle rhythm to be able to get some additional damage off on these units. This unit of auxiliary infantry had a weird position, so I'm going to use this gap to be able to get into the auxiliary and Syrian archers and absolutely demolish them. Me and the steppe armored lancers are going to go ahead and charge in. The steppe armored lancers are going to take a lot of that fire for me. I am very, very happy that they took the fire and I did not, because I really want to try to survive and get as many kills as I possibly can. But we are successfully breaking one unit of auxiliary Syrian archers, and if we can somehow find a way to be able to shatter them as well, then that would be huge. Now we've got my cav unit. A lot of it was outside of that unit, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next unit and try to go ahead and get into this unit of auxiliary Syrian archers, charge in, and try to get as many kills as I possibly can. Just, again, playing ping pong, trying to get as many kills as possible. So far, having 306 kills, and instead of getting caught out by these gladiatrices, I'm going to go ahead and turn around and charge into this artillery again. I've got my general that just charged into this unit of vigiles. I had popped second wind on him because he was exhausted, so I went ahead and charged into those vigiles and went ahead and took out a lot of them. I'm going to move out and then try to charge back in and break them as soon as I possibly can. Again, with these cataphracts, you don't want to leave them in a melee too long. It's that charge bonus that really causes them to get those kills. So I went ahead and told them to charge into units, because whenever you tell a cav unit to charge into units, it usually listens just a little bit better. But now I'm going to go ahead and have them charge into this unit of auxiliary Syrian archers and try and finish them off. So now my cavalry is moving through whatever's left of them. I think we have 10 guys left. They're going to go ahead and charge into these auxiliary Syrian archers. My general was able to get through those vigiles, so now he's going to go ahead and move into these archers as well, and these archers are as good as dead. My first unit of Eastern Cataphracts are breaking, but the Royal Cataphracts are still healthy and ready to get a lot of kills and kick some ass. Now I'm going to go ahead and charge my general away. I don't want to get it caught into prolonged melee against these gladiatrices. I'm going to go ahead and try to get out of there, but the general's going to go ahead and catch up with me, try to stop me from being able to move back into other forces. And Royal Cynthia is over here. I haven't even been covering this. Pergamon actually sent out a whole bunch of troops, a bunch of Galatian swords to be able to support the battle. They're going to go ahead and hold a whole lot of these units in place. They're using their Galatian swords to be able to hold them in place so the cav can continue to get a lot of cycle charges off against this army. The Socii Extraordinari are completely stuck, completely surrounded by a whole bunch of different troops. We've got the Pergamon cavalry going in and finishing off this artillery piece. We've got gladiatrices trying to stop the cavalry from being able to charge in, but the cavalry is going to utilize this opportunity to be able to charge into the flank of these Praetorian Guard and try to get as many kills as possible. Pergamon doing a great job of trying to reset up and get some Pila off against these Praetorian Guard. Again, they're just trying to do as much... Oh, man, that was a little bit of friendly fire from that Pila. They got to be careful about that. Yikes. And now the Noble Cav is going to go ahead and get the hell out of dodge while the Galatian Guard charge in and flank around these Praetorian Guard and try to break them ASAP. Over here, my general was actually successfully able to break the Roman general, and he is shattered and off the battlefield, so we don't have to deal with them, which is going to be a huge morale loss. With Rome, it's not the biggest deal in the world because of the fact that it is Rome, and they all have, I can't remember the thing, but they're all great infantry. I don't really remember what the ability is called. Please remind me down in the comments below. But there's a deal where basically they are super well trained, so they won't break as easily. So now we got auxiliary infantry trying to stop my Royal Cataphracts. I'm going to go ahead and charge into these auxiliary infantry and try to break them. We're going to go ahead and break a huge line into them, move past these guys and start going into the flank of some of these gladiatrices as well as the Praetorian Guard, trying to do whatever I can to be able to support my allies because I want to try to save as many troops as I can. We may be doing a lot of damage against Rome, but Rome is trying to do whatever they can to weaken us so that way her allies can get some great damage off and do a lot of work. The cavalry kind of getting caught up on this little tortoise, I was about to say triangle, on this tortoise here. We are successfully breaking these gladiatrices, which is huge. Now we just have to finish off the Praetorian Guard, but that is Rome gone. What a sally out. Rome did a good job of getting a lot of kills on our cavalry and weakening Pergamon, but will it be enough? The balance of powers is still in favor of the attackers. They're bringing a lot of very good factions during this battle, so we're going to have to be careful. But now that Rome is gone and this side is clear, we can really focus our infantry over on the other side, which is going to be huge. Let's go ahead and look over at the front lines. We've got the Seleucid player being held off by the Pontic swordsman. We've got Thorax swordsman in the fray, trying to get past these Pontic swordsmen. I would almost move this Thorax swordsman around, get around the flank. They might get shot, but they can potentially break this Pontic swordsman even quicker. But now they've got a whole bunch of archer fire going into the Pontic swordsman. It's front side, but they're just trying to get past this area, get as many kills as they can, so that way they can move into the settlement and cause us to fall back or even break and lose the battle. We've even got some artillery going into the archer units of Pontus, just trying to silence them and stop them from being able to get some shots over on these units. The archers were getting a lot of shots over on the thorax swordsmen over here. The thorax swordsmen are starting to break, but now we've got the other unit of thorax swordsmen that was engaged with this unit of Pontic swordsmen charging into the side and the flank and the front of this Pontic swordsman with 88 men left, 48 kills so far. Hopefully they can hold for a little longer, but they are surrounded, so we shall see. Over on this side, Pontus is doing a great job of holding off some of these Nabatean swordsmen. We've got archers coming in from this elusive player, getting some great back shots on the Celtic warriors, just trying to break them ASAP so that way Nabatea can come in and support her ally. We got the Pontic swordsman completely surrounded. I'm assuming he went down here to surround these guys. We've got Pergamon cycling out some units against these desert armored hoplites and just trying to break them ASAP. Over here, we've got Cardii Axemen. We've had a huge fight, a lot of hillmen in the fray dying to the armored desert hoplites, but now we've got Cardii Axemen. Armor penetrators is what we like to call them, with that decent charge bonus as well, 25 charge bonus, charging into the armored desert hoplites, hopefully to cause them to break and get them off the battlefield. I'm taking a lot of archer fire, so I'm just going to continue to try and cycle, charge into those guys and get as many kills as I possibly can. I've got my archers getting some side fire over on the thorax swordsman over here, while my Cardii Axemen in this giant mosh pit just continues to try and surround as many troops as they can and get as many kills as possible. This Cardii Axeman is holding off against this thorax swordsman, but we've got Syracuse really trying to make the push over on this side and help support their allies by forcing us to move even more troops. We've got a lot of Pergamon troops moving over to this side, a lot of Agama spears with plenty of ammunition left, moving over to this side to be able to help support me in my defense of this section of the battlefield. Over here, we've got the Armored Desert Hoplites having moved down the staircase, charging against my Cardii Axemen, but I'm going to go ahead and cycle out the Cardii Axemen, get a little bit of a charge of my own to be able to try and continue to do damage against these guys, but they're going to cycle out and just continue to try to get as many charge bonuses as they can and as many kills as they can. Nabatea doing a fan-fucking-tastic job over here, and he started to move in his archers to be able to stop my archers from getting those nice side shots. They moved in and started firing at my archers over here, but I quickly moved them out so they didn't take too many losses, thankfully. So now I'm going to reposition my archers right here and bide my time for a better opportunity. I've got a couple of archers going over here because I do have my Cardii Axemen kind of falling back to this roadway right here. If I can get my archers over on this side, they should be able to get some nice side shots. It'll be shield side shots, but it'll be side and flanking shots, so hopefully they'll be able to get a lot of kills against any troops that are fighting against our forces over here. But yeah, Pergamon has been moved up to be able to help support me in these endeavors. And now here comes the Cav again. I see an opportunity. I see an exposed archer unit over here by the wall. There is a unit of Thureo spears moving up, but I'm going to go ahead and start moving my general. He is hidden. They cannot see him. So if I can move my general over this way, exactly where that arrow is, beautiful to see, and get into that archer unit, then that would be huge. It's only a 250 cost archer unit, but any archer unit that we can kill before they use any of their ammo, in this case they have 0 kills so far, then that is going to be huge. We got the Thureo spears quickly moving in to be able to try and get some ammo in on the battlefield. Again, they can't see my, well, okay, now they can see my general unit, but will they be able to react in time? Their ballista is out of ammo, so they got their crew close by to be able to help defend some of their archers. They got the ball sack slingers, or last night, this was actually streamed live on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/CAPN4IS. If you guys ever want to hear more of my sexy voice and see my sexy face as well as play some games with me, then go ahead and follow my Twitch channel, and I'm always playing with you guys. That sounds really, really sexual, but you know how it goes. But yeah, I'm always playing games with you guys, so if you guys want to join in on any games, then that would be a good opportunity for you to do so. But yes, the Royal Cataphracts are going to go ahead and move in. I'm going to pop Trample here sooner, hopefully, rather than later. Yeah, right before they charge in, so they're going to go right into this archer unit and absolutely melt them, and that's 250 gold absolutely wasted, and this is what we need. We're trying to do whatever we can to be able to bring back this balance of power. Over here, we've got Cynthia. I used to have a boss named Cynthia. But we've got Royal Scythia fighting against some of these Nabatean cavalry. We got the noble cav trying to do whatever they can to fight against these archers and the royal horse, as well as noble lancers of Royal Scythia. Just trying to hold them off so that way their backs are protected, but these noble cav are taking a lot of archer fire, so either they need to charge in, which it looks like that's exactly what they need to do, or get back inside of the settlement, because they will not last under such a barrage. The archers are going to go ahead and fall back and trade with the noble steppe lancers and royal horse general with 216 kills. Well done. I'm going to go ahead and have my cavalry continue to chase down this archer just to completely shatter them. And now that they're shattered, I'm going to go ahead and send my cav this way to be able to support Royal Scythia. Over in the actual settlement, I am actually breaking from over here. I've got my Cardiac Axeman over here trying to... Oh my god, I thought that was 400 and something kills on the Cardiac Axeman. I was about to cry because that would have been beautiful. I've got my archers actually firing into the sides and flanks of some of these thorax swordsmen, just trying to get them off the battlefield. The Game of Spears have moved up. They've used pretty much almost all of their ammo, hopefully all of their ammo, and now they're moved up to be able to hold this front line for as long as possible. And then we've got 2 units of a Game of Spears holding valiantly against the elite mercenary Samnite warriors, and the thunderous spears with a great position, getting some great fire on these Game of Spears. Well done by Syracuse, getting some great positioning. Over here, I'm going to go ahead and charge my cavalry into the Nabatean cav. I'm just trying to save as much as the Royal Scythia cavalry as I possibly can, because the more of them that are left alive, the more we'll be able to continue to harass our opponents. So, and my general is still relatively healthy with 51 men remaining, so this is a good opportunity for me to go in, charge into these Nabatean noble cavalry with my cataphracts, cause them to break, and so that way we can save more and more lives. We've even got the Median cavalry from Seleucid moving into the fray, trying to hold off this cavalry and do as much damage as they can. So far, they have 13 kills. They're holding back this cavalry, so now the thunderous spears have moved up and are now trying to get some volleys into these steppe noble lancers. Well done by the Seleucid player. Now I've got my royal cataphracts quickly trying to charge into the Median cavalry, finish them off, and keep them from being able to continue to harass Royal Scythia. Now, the only units that we have outside of the walls so far are those of the Seleucid player. Rome is taken out, and Syracuse and Nabatea are both fully inside of the settlement. Any units that they had outside defending are now gone or have moved inside of the settlement. So right now, our main focus with the cav is to be able to try and do as much damage against Seleucid player as we possibly can. We've got Eastern Spearmen trying to charge into the fray against some of the cav. We've got depleted unit of Steppe Noble Lancers charging in, trying to get as many kills as they possibly can as well. Both of these depleted units are just trying to stop some of this fire. That's going to be a lot of friendly fire into the Eastern Spearmen, but they are just Eastern Spears, so that's not the worst thing in the world. I got my general quickly moving in to be able to charge into these thunderous spears and Eastern Spearmen, just trying to get as many kills as possible. We've got Royal Scythia charging in, just trying to get around some of these units, get some flanking charges, and get as many kills as we can. If we can break all of these units, there's not that much holding back the units inside of the settlement. We got the Syrian heavy archers here. I don't know. Some of them do still have ammo. We've got archers here on the walls, but they are out of ammo. They're just trying to stay the hell away from our cavalry, which I do not blame them at all. But yes, now we've got cavalry. We've got the Pontic swordsman. So Pontus actually sallied out swordsmen from this gate, moved them all the way around with the cavalry in order to support this front line. So now they've moved up to be able to hold back or hold some of these units in place while they get back charged by a bunch of cavalry. And now we're just continuing to cycle in and out of some of these units, just trying to break them as soon as possible. My cataphracts have 38 men left, 521 kills so far. The Scythian Royal Cav, or the Steppe Noble Lancers, with 160 kills. We got the Pontic Swordsman. Oh my god, every time I go out and I see the Royal Cataphracts, I'm like, wait, Pontic Swordsman with over 500 kills? No. But still. These Steppe Noble Lancers have 113, 125, so overall doing a great job with this cavalry and getting a lot of kills, and breaking a lot of these units as well. We've even got the Pontus General, the fresh unit of Pontic, what is this? Pontic Royal Cavalry moving into the fray to be able to help support our endeavors against the Seleucid player. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful to see. We've got all of the cav in the world going in to be able to support. We are starting to slowly be pushed back here. We've kind of reformed our lines to be able to face this way. Luckily, it's shield side, but if they wanted to start shooting into the side of us with those archers, they could definitely get some kills. But we've fully reformed. These eastern archers are out of ammo, so I'm going to have them in the front to try and take as many shots as they possibly can. I don't know if these archers still have ammo. Those archers are out. These archers still have ammo, but I don't know how much. But yeah, we are starting to run out of ammo. And looking at our infantry, we are definitely running low on infantry here. Nabatea still has a decent amount of infantry, and Syracuse has a decent amount of infantry. And the balance of power... Oh! Hold that thought real quick. My general was able to get through the cracks. Now we've got a whole bunch of cavalry pouring through this gap in order to charge into some of these archers, into the flanks of these thorax swordsmen. I see an opportunity to potentially get into some of these Nabatean archers. I'm going to go ahead and tell my general to try and charge past these Syrian heavy archers over here and get into some of these Nabatean archers. But the Syrian archers are causing my cav to kind of stop in their place, and now we've got the Nabatean general. He's going to quickly turn around and try and counter my general and keep him from being able to charge into his archers. My general trying to use the little gap right there to be able to move through and get some kills on these Nabatean heavy archers. But now it's going to be a general versus general. My cataphracts are not quite charging in. They're getting a little bit of a charge, but not as much as they could have. And they're going to go ahead and move in and try to get as many kills as possible. But they are completely surrounded. They're about to be dead. They have 13 men remaining. They have almost 600 kills, 593 kills so far. Will they be able to get to 600? I don't know. They have 9 men left, still 593. If they can't, yeah, I think that they are going to go ahead and quickly fall in this one, and that is going to be the end of my general. But I'm all but out of this fight either way. I've got the rest of my ammo from the Eastern Archers trying to dump into the backs of some of these thunderous spears, trying to get whatever angles I can to be able to get as many kills as I possibly can. But yeah, I'm down to 1 archer unit and a Cardii axeman unit, and now we've got the cav just wrecking havoc everywhere. The Seleucid player is all but gone. But looking at what we have left, Pontus still has some Pontic swordsman, relatively healthy Pontic swordsman. I don't know if he has any ammo with these archers left. These archers only have their dollar store daggers out. That saying is from Bubini. God, I love that man, and that is one of my favorite sayings right now in the world. But they have their dollar store daggers out. So they are completely out of ammo, but still ready to throw their bodies into the front line should they need to. Looking over at Pergamon's still got some Galatian swords left over, some Agama spears, so a lot of depleted troops trying to hold the front line, and we've even got some semi-fresh units of Galatian swords over here holding the line. We have actually completely broken over here. Syracuse has completely broken all of the units that I have over here. These guys actually still have ammo, so Pergamon has 173 kills so far. Well done with that artillery, getting a lot of kills, trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. But yeah, getting some great kills on this kind of blob of infantry over here. I'm going to reform my archers. They're not quite out of ammo, but they're basically out of ammo. I'm going to hold them back because Pontus still has full ammo basically with this ballista. So we're hoping that this ballista can help us to break some of these units, do as much damage as they can against those units, so that way they can't continue to push, because we just don't have the infantry to hold them back. We've got Pontus sending in some Pontic swordsmen, and we got a lot of cav coming in to be able to try and plug the gap. But yeah, I am personally down to my last unit, the Cardii Axeman, with 100 kills now, holding valiantly against the Thureo Spears and Thorax Swordsmen of Syracuse. We are starting to break some units, but we've got more and more units moving into the front line to be able to plug any gaps that we might create. We've got the Thorax Hoplite General actually on the front line here as well. The Nabatean Swordsman with 128 kills, beginning to break, 51 men remaining. But yeah, we've got the Thureo Spears on the front line and the General on the front line ready to move in at a moment's notice. Luckily, Pergamon still has ammo, so he's going to go ahead and try and dump as much ammo as he possibly can into these slingers over here and keep them from being able to fire. The slingers only have 16 kills, so they definitely still have a great opportunity to get as many kills as they possibly can. And Balearic slingers are insane. They can get a lot of kills. We've got Syracuse popping Rally to be able to try and boost the morale of their troops and keep them from being able to break. We got the Nabatean General quickly moving in to try and provide some morale support. Actually charging into the rear of these forces, and he's also going to get a little bit of friendly fire in. Yeah, we've got the archers over here firing in, but he's going to get some friendly fire against these noble cav. We've got, yeah, the rest of the noble cav quickly moving in, but I can only, oh wow, yeah, they're gonna take a lot of fire. We've got there we go, the Cynthian Royal Skirmishers firing into the general. The general's going to get the hell out of there before he falls. He cannot afford to lose the morale with the rest of his troops still in the fight. We've got a very, very small line here holding. We've got a depleted unit of Pontic Swords with 126 kills left, and a unit of Cardi Axemen with 142 kills so far. But that is pretty much all we have holding this line here. We don't have any infantry in the back to be able to plug this gap. We're running low on infantry. It's funny because we're actually starting to kind of push our opponents further into the city. We're almost trading places with the opponents. We're retaking the place that they had initially taken, but they're kind of pushing us back over towards the victory point. So, but we are running very, very low on infantry. It may even come down to the cavalry. Over here, huge charge from Pontus. Huge charge from the Pontic cavalry, fighting against the Nabatean noble cavalry with 27 men left. They are fighting their hearts out, trying to take each other out. If you can take out the Pontic general, then that's going to cause any Pontic forces to have a huge morale loss, which would be devastating to us, because I think Pontus has the biggest infantry presence inside of this battle right now. And then next up is Pergamon. So if Pontus loses his general, then it's going to be really, really rough for us. At this point, the Nabatean general actually fell. Pontus's general won the fight, killed the Nabatean general. He still has some general's bodyguard left over, I think. But the Pontus general successfully killed the Nabatean general, which is going to be huge, and it's causing a huge morale loss for the Nabatean archers over here on the front line. We've got armored desert legionaries just kicking ass, still fighting against the might of the combined forces of Pontus and Pergamon over here. We've got a lot of forces over here, mercenary Samnite warriors, Thraeus spears, and Thorax hoplites trying to move through this area. They found a gap. My Cardi Axemen are breaking with 176 kills, so they are going to go ahead and completely surround them and cause them to break. We've got archers and cav trying to move in to be able to stop this breakage and to be able to plug this gap. We've got Pontic archers that are out of ammo actually moving their bodies in to be able to stop this gap and just try to stop these troops from pouring in, but it is looking rough, guys. I really don't know if we're going to be able to pull this off, because Syracuse, I mean, we have no infantry, and the cav that we have left are all weakens. I mean, these guys have 43 left, 51. I mean, the archer cav still have some troops. I mean, 40, 73, 70, the Amazonian riders, so they can still do some damage. We got the Pontic general actually doing some cycle charges, trying to break these archers. If they can break the archers, they can get around to the flank of these Thraeus hoplites and Samnite warriors. We've got the Steppe noble lancers continuing to cycle charge against the Thorax hoplites, but they're trying to hold valiantly and kill the rest of this cavalry if they can. But the Pontic general needs to break this archer unit so that way they can move in and flank around these Thorax hoplites. The only thing that's defending the backs of these troops are Balearic slingers, and they're not even defending. They're just trying to use as much ammo as they can. They're getting kills on the rest of these eastern archers. We got Steppe noble lancers actually charging into the fray. Luckily, our opponents actually turned their backs, so they're going to get a slightly better charge and hopefully get some extra kills, but the Balearic slingers are continuing to fire into them. We've got the general unit of Syracuse breaking. We've got the rest of Syracuse breaking. And that is going to be the end of an epic battle. Holy shit, guys. That was beautiful. Let's go ahead and end the replay and look at some of these kills here. We've got Nabatea, Master of Puppets, being the MVP of kills this game. Destra being second place. I was third place as far as kills. Jamaham was fourth. Shit, I lost my track. Spartan was 5th. Zib was 6th. Medusa was 7th. And then Darkspawn was 8th. Poor Darkspawn. Not only did he deploy by himself, he also played as Rome. So he was automatically the target of so many cav units. Well, God, that was such a good battle. Thank you so much to everybody that played this battle with me the other night. That was so much fun. I had a blast. Always a pleasure to be able to talk to you guys and hang out with you guys and play some games with you guys. Looking over at my kills, 593. Holy shit, that's an elephant at that point. 593, 374. We've got 112, 112. That's actually kind of funny. 101, 161, 162, 151, 176. Looking over at Zib, with 1,698 kills. We've got 118, 161, 123, 150, 117, 201, 121. Destro and Master of Puppets. Destro, well done by him. Those cavalry plays were magnificent, getting a lot of kills and really, really helping us out during this battle. His general unit getting 255, 229, 142, 190, 386 kills. Holy shit. 302, 142, 148, 212, 209. Master of Puppets getting 2,574 kills. We've got 138, 196, 217, 173, 149, 178, 126, 115, 272, 135, 114, 171, 119, 128, 130. Looking over at Jamham and Medusa, we've got 374, 189, 131, 128, 108, 139, 129, 105, 176. Medusa, 150, 116, 110, 146, 114, 108. Doing a great job. Spartan and Darkspawn. So we got Spartan 162, 118, 104, 125, 285, 170, 157, 168, 145. And last but certainly not least, we got Darkspawn trying to do whatever he could against the forces that sallied out against him. It's just so much cavalry, so many units. It was insane. And well done to him. He tried to do everything in his power to be able to try and hold back that cav and do as much damage as he possibly could to be able to weaken us, so that way his allies could try and finish us off. Great battle, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day or night, whatever time it is for you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.